Hi, everyone. It's the final Friday here in February 2024. We've got 29 days in the month this year. It's a leap year, a lot of fun here on PTN today as we do Final Fridays live from backstage at the Sherman Theater. This historic theater is coming up on 100 years of existence this year, and that's a lot of live music. Let me tell you that. Tonight, they have a show planned for 8 o'clock tonight, Pure Prairie League here. These country rockers have been touring for 6 decades. We'll get to them in just a little bit. But this place, like I said, is steeped in history right here on Main Street in downtown Stroudsburg. The Sherman Theater has all kinds of acts all year long. Back 100 years ago when it opened, around 1929, one of the first shows to be seen here, Laurel and Hardy. So that gives you a little bit of a idea just how long this place has been in existence and how much of a landmark it has been to the Poconos community here of Stroudsburg. So in order to get a better idea of what the Sherman Theater is all about, let's bring in Dan Romagno. He is the talent buyer and venue manager here at the Sherman Theater. Dan, thanks for joining us here. This has got to be a fun job for you. Tell us what it entails.
It's an awesome job. I mean, I've been here since 2016, so I've spent a good amount of time here. It's a great place to work. We do some of the greatest shows in this area in Pennsylvania. But one of my favorite parts is definitely the community aspect. We're a nonprofit, so a lot of the decision making comes down to what's best for the community. What does the community want to see?
Right. The community, I mean, you could fit about 1,800 people in here. That is standing, but seated about 1,200 people. And you have a show tonight, Pure Prairie League. You got shows happening all the time out here. So you're behind a lot of the picking and choosing of what happens here, right, guys? So why did you go with Pure Prairie League in particular?
They're just a classic, beautiful, amazing band. Their musicianship is fantastic. They have some great hits. And also, my mom is so excited to see Pure Prairie League. So that was definitely a big factor as well.
That's fantastic. So Pure Prairie League's about to kick off tonight at 8 o'clock. We'll get to them as they do their sound check here behind us on the stage. But there's a lot of other things coming up here. And, of course, people can find out more at shermantheater.com. One of those is celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Tell me what you guys have here with the May Babies on May 16th.
Yeah,
go ahead.
We have local legends, the May Babies, coming. It's just going to be an all-around party. You know, come, have fun. It's a low-price ticket because, like I said, it's a good community thing to do. So hopefully a lot of people come out and we could see some of our local favorites and have a great time. That's
a good time. You have comedy acts, you have tribute bands out the wazoo. You see them covering everybody from Zeppelin to AC/DC, a lot of different cool bands here. But Sherman Showcase is another thing that we want to tell the viewing audience about. Sherman Showcase is something that's a little bit of a different price point, but it's also bringing in those local bands too. What is Sherman Showcase all about?
So the Sherman Showcase is actually right next door to us. It's a 100 cap space. And yeah, you hit the nail on the head. We try to really showcase our regional artists. It's a great room for local bands to go so that their fans can come out to see them and also to grow, right? So we have that 100 cap room. We partner with the Renegade Winery, and they're about 250 cap. So one of my favorite parts of my job is to be able to help grow these people, help develop these artists. So they start out in the 100 cap room, see how they do, bump them up to the 250, and who knows, maybe we could put a whole headlining regional show together in the main theater.
I love that idea. You guys have been here for so long. You're definitely part of the community. That shows here. And I've been here at acts. You know, Billy Corgan came here a few years ago, got to see him play solo here. It's such a cool thing to be able to see nationally touring acts right here in the Pocono Mountains, right at the Sherman Theater, and for the right price too, because you guys, certainly, you can go to a lot of major concert venues and you're paying out the wazoo for those tickets. Here you guys can really be affordable, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's, it's such a cool thing because we're Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, right? I mean, to us, it's amazing, but to other people, it's just Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Yeah. So to be able to bring these caliber of artists here for the community, it's something special, that's for sure.
Dan, thank you for joining us here on Final Fridays Live. Dan with the Sherman Theater. Come check them out. Check them out online, shermantheater.com. Check them out on social as well. And they've got a lot of acts all planned. And one of those, Pure Prairie League. I'm going to get to Randy here in a moment, all right?
All right.
Thanks for joining us here, buddy. Pleasure, definitely. Randy, come on over, my friend. This is Randy Harper, folks, on PTN Live here on streaming, on broadcast, and online. Cool. Randy's with Pure Prairie League. You guys just got here. This is your first show of the year, right? You guys are kicking off your tour.
Yep. You get to hear the rehearsal tonight.
I'm excited for that, guys, because really this is a band that has spanned the decades, right? You guys play all kinds of classics, right?
55 years.
55 years, guys. That's a lot of years out there on the road. What do you love about coming to a venue like this one in particular, so steeped in history, 100 years or so?
Well, we're fortunate enough. We get to play a lot of venues like this, so all of them have their own unique characteristics and their own like unique restorations and all that stuff. But it's fun just to, it's just fun to be out playing.
Yeah, and you guys play some recognizable tunes, right? Amy's one of those ones that people really.
Oh, nobody knows that.
Nobody knows that
and she
song.
Still doesn't know what she's gonna do. So.
I absolutely love that too. You guys have certainly traveled a little ways from the south.
Yep.
A little colder in Georgia when you left, you said.
It was literally. It was like 36 degrees when I left, and we get here, and I'm like, wait a minute, why'd I bring a coat?
Well, you got one.
Yeah.
That's really good that you're here, though, too. And you guys must love meeting your fans out there in the audience, too, when you get to see them here, right?
Yeah, we're the kind of band that after every show we go out and we'll sign anything you bring us, and and of course there's merchandise for sale, but we just like meeting everybody and hearing the stories of like, oh, I saw your show in 1977 or 1974, and I'm like, cool. I was not there at that time, but
it dates you too, because you've been in the industry for a long time.
Yep.
Don't you love these nonprofit community theaters in the small towns that you visit, right?
Well, we love. I mean, obviously, when you get our age and you've done it as long as we have, you love playing anywhere you get to play. I mean, that's part of the fun of it. And thankfully, we do have an audience still, and they come out and listen to the music, and we're happy to play it.
That's great. Randy Harper with Pure Prairie League. They're going to get their sound check up and running here in a little bit. Hopefully we'll be on live still to listen into it.
Thank
you, my friend. Pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, have a great show tonight, fellas. All right? Pleasure. Yeah, definitely. So that's Pure Prairie League kicking off 8 o'clock tonight here. Seated admission in here. We said that's about 1,200 people who can fit into the Sherman Theater here in a seated capacity, but 1,800 when there's no seats. It's general admission for those shows. But we did also want to tell you about a show that you don't have to come to the theater to see. We've got Pocono Showcase for you, and we were here on stage yesterday recording 2 segments for Pocono Showcase on PTN and locally Blue Ridge Cable. Let's show you some of that video from yesterday there. We had Soul Katana here performing on the Sherman Theater stage. That'll be in an upcoming episode of that Pocono Showcase on PTN and Blue Ridge Cable, like I mentioned. It'll be part of the Pocono Mountains Magazine episode coming up later this year as well. And so Pocono Showcase is a little bit of a opportunity for us to feature a lot of those local bands that Dan was talking about here, who perform in the Pocono Mountains, who really have a following here in some of the live music venues that we're about to talk about here. And so you can watch for future episodes on PTN. It's hosted by Gary C. of Poco 103 right here in the Pocono Mountains. Lots of fun there. With Pocono Showcase, of course, the Kramer Brothers Band, they're a country band. Pure Prairie League, another country band here. So country, we've got some, Latin flavor there with Soul Katana. We've had Christian Porter, a singer-songwriter on that as well. And so a lot of different kind of eclectic tunes on Pocono Showcase. So that plays on PTN, streaming live, on demand, etc. Let's move on, though, because there is no shortage of live music happening all throughout the Pocono Mountains, all 4 seasons of the year. So here at the Sherman Theater, you can check them out online, shermantheater.com, for all the events happening all throughout. They've got comedy acts, they've got smaller acts like the Sherman Showcase, and of course, nationally touring bands like this one, Pure Prairie League, tonight. But other ones, let's bring up Penn's Peak. Penn's Peak down there near Jim Thorpe. That place is a spectacular venue with a spectacular view. We want to show you a little bit about what that place is all about. Of course, that's a mountaintop venue right there near Jim Thorpe, overlooking Beltsville Lake, with a capacity of about 1,800 folks that can get in there. There's a Roadie's restaurant for eats and drinks there. And of course, PennsPeak.com is where you can find out tomorrow. Flogging Molly is playing, but of course, they've got a lot of other nationally touring acts there, including Diamond Rio, playing March 23rd. Todd Rundgren there on your screen with a graphic, playing Saturday, April 27th. And there's a tour happening, a little Happy Together tour, bringing back some psychedelic times there of the 60s, the Turtles, the Association, Badfinger. That's on Thursday, June 13th. Lots of tribute bands as well happening there at Penn's Peak. Let's move on to this video. I've been to this venue a couple times in its very short existence, Harmony in the Woods. It's an outdoor venue, quite literally, in the woods in Hawley, Pennsylvania, now in its 3rd season, and it's hosted some international acts, some that have won Latin Grammys and various other performances in previous seasons as well. They've got wide-ranging genres there. Definitely a good price point there for the whole family to come on out there. And the lineup, that'll be announced in April, so stay tuned to PTN, Social, and of course Harmony in the Woods for that lineup too. Now let's show you another blast from the past. Tiffany will be headlining a show at Mount Airy Casino Resort coming up here on April 6th. She's an 80s icon, of course, Tiffany, and an R&B group, All for One, is also playing. Those tickets are on sale right now. More shows coming up this year, including Marshall Tucker Band, Pop 2000 Tour, with some ties to, I think, the Backstreet Boys and Kirkpatrick. So head to MountAiryCasino.com for more on that. Another one that's really near and dear to my heart, Honesdale Roots and Rhythm. This music festival has been happening since 2006, and it's free. Usually about 4 main stage acts after a bunch of downtown bands in Central Park and Honesdale. The weekend, the Saturday of Father's Day weekend in June. So that would be June 15th. Roots and Rhythm is planned, an all-day music festival with arts, with food vendors right there in Central Park. Head to Honesdale Roots and Rhythm. That's HonesdaleRootsandRhythm.com for more on that festival coming up in June. And Poconos Park, that's another one back on the scene. Of course, it's the old Mountain Laurel Center for the Arts. That is now reborn as Poconos Park just in the last couple years here. There in Bushkill. It's a renewed outdoor amphitheater, and it's got a couple festivals upcoming, including for the second year in a row, Lost Highway Motorcycle Show and Concert, headlined by Oliver Anthony. That's May 17th through the 19th. And then the Totally Tubular Festival, a journey to the 80s with Thomas Dolby, Modern English, Men Without Hats, The Romantics, Bow Wow Wow, Tommy Two-Tone, you get it. And here they are kicking up on stage here at the Sherman. This is going to be good. Let me get through a couple more here because we just showcased the Mock Chunk Opera House on the most recent edition of Pocono Mountains Magazine with Brianna Strunk. That's another great venue in such a cool downtown like Jim Thorpe. Lots happening all the time. They have the Jim Thorpe International Film Festival that happens there, but they've also got a lot of other acts there too. Tribute bands. They've got a capacity of several hundred there. Tribute bands for like Led Zeppelin, CCR, Meatloaf, Tom Petty. Some comedy acts too. And of course, check out that PMM Pocono Mountains Magazine episode from Brianna Strunk over there on PTN, the Pocono Television Network, to give you an idea of all the things happening in Jim Thorpe at the Mock Chunk Opera House. One more, or two more really, to mention tonight here. We've got the upcoming Elements Music and Arts Festival at Pocono Raceway. That's an electronic dance music festival there. The lineup just recently being announced there. We're going to show that on your screen here. Lots of different electric acts there on various stages with a lot to do there at Pocono Raceway. I know that's been a pretty big hit, bringing out some huge crowds to Pocono Raceway, which is more than just, you know, NASCAR racing in July at the Tricky Triangle. There's all these other music events that happen there, including this one that is happening August 3rd, or in August, 3 days, 11th through the 13th, I believe, or 9th through the 11th, sorry. That's August 9th through the 11th at Pocono Raceway. That is the Elements Music and Arts Festival. It used to be up in northern Wayne County there. Finally, last but not least, the Milford Theater. This place is astonishing with how much money has been pumped into that to renovate it, bring it up to modern day standards. Milford Theater here, you can see it was recently renovated, but it dates back to the 1920s, just like the Sherman Theater here. And they've had live music there year in and year out now since it's been renewed with plays and classic films and film festivals like the Black Bear Film Festival or Milford Readers and Writers. And they have tribute bands like Green Day and in the past, Spin Doctors, Bacon Brothers, and Wiz Khalifa. So a lot of cool acts there. You can check them out at themilfordtheater.com. All right, so I've run through a laundry list of a lot of the live music happening in the Pocono Mountains here, and we are just on backstage here at Sherman Theater as Pure Prairie League's about to kick off their sound check. Have a few more honorable mentions here about the live music in the Poconos. Shawnee River Fest, that's still planned for early July, just at Shawnee on the Delaware there. We've also got the Wildflower Concert and Music Series at Dorflinger. That's a very special one there in between Honesdale and Hawley, an outdoor venue where they get a lot of tribute bands as well. Just a beautiful setting there in a wooded area amphitheater. And then they've got the, in Milford, for the first time this year, they're doing a Battle of the Bands. That's happening at Apple Valley. They're calling for band submissions right now, but that's being hosted by the Pike Chamber of Commerce. That's happening August 3rd at Apple Valley. And also free music at the Community House in Milford. That is a music series happening all the way through the spring, in through the summer, with some pretty interesting acts there on the weekends at the community house right there in downtown Milford. They've got a 7-piece swing band, to a Buddy Holly tribute band, to a swing orchestra, so you can find out more at pikechamber.com. So, Final Fridays Live. We've been all over the place. Now we're backstage at the Sherman Theater before Pure Prairie League takes the stage tonight. They're just dealing with some last-minute technical stuff here to get up and going for their sound check tonight, but we definitely appreciate them coming on the show, appreciate the folks here at the Sherman Theater for hosting us here, and of course, if you can get out tonight, if you still haven't found something to do, and if there's still tickets available, come on out to the Sherman Theater. It's a great place to find some live music. There's a lot of other places throughout the Pocono Mountains to find it. You can head to our website, poconomountains.com/events. You can find out all the things happening all throughout the Poconos every season of the year. Watch for our new Pocono Mountains Magazine episode coming up the first Sunday in March. A lot of great stories there as well, and we'll include some of this on that too. This is Jim Hamill for Pocono Television Network here on Final Fridays Live. Thanks for watching here on PTN. Have a good one, everyone.